Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mayday Network. If you're new here, I'm Michelle Kinney, and you're watching a very special edition of the Mayday Network. Tonight, we're doing a Mayday Madness to go over the brackets for March Madness NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments. We're starting right now in the 7 o'clock hour with the men's brackets. We'll be back at 9:30 Eastern to talk through the women's bracket. We'd love to come in earlier, but I have to record the next Illegals podcast, the Americans Rewatch. So check that out if you can also. But to go through this bracket, the men's, I wanted to bring in someone who, hold on, says, greetings, Mayday. I'm so confused with the time. Didn't it change to 9:30? No. So this is happening now, and then 9:30 is the women's bracket. So if you want to know about after the selection show, which is happening right now with the women's teams, come back at 9:30 Eastern. I'll be talking through those at that time. So let me get right into it. The person I wanted to bring in to talk about this, who probably knows more about this than anyone I know, is my husband, Joe Urso, who I talk about pretty often. Yes, he is a banking regulatory attorney by day, backgammon grandmaster by night, but 24/7 sports fanatic. So, Joe, I will bring him now in. Hi, Joe.
Oh, exciting. So exciting to be here.
Hello. So,
Yeah.
everybody, this is Joe. He is my husband. We've been married for 10 years. He has
All bliss.
all bliss, all bliss, nothing but bliss. So Joe has two teams that have made it into the tournament this year. His alma mater of Vanderbilt University, where he has his hat there, very lovely, and Michigan, where he went to law school, University of Michigan.
I'm ready.
He wears many hats, but I'm ching. Um, and very sadly, as a lifelong Syracuse fan, as well as alum, very, very sad times the past several years to be a Syracuse fan and alum because we suck now. Leaving the Big East was the worst thing that the Syracuse program ever could have done. And along with Jim Boeheim putting all of his offspring on the starting lineup, um, it's all downhill. So, Joe, let's get right into it. I'm going to put up the full bracket here.
All right, let's do it.
This is what
You
we're
want
looking
to
at.
you want to say what we'll do? We'll go through each region, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
we'll talk about some teams we like, some teams we dislike, maybe personally, and
Yep.
and then we also want to talk about what mascots we like and
Yes.
who's got
Well,
the best unis as well.
Yeah, that you like. I'm pretty agnostic
Okay.
to them. I mean, there's some that I find cuter than the others, but it's really hard to pick any that's not Otto the Orange. So, and I'll be bitter about it until the end. So, so guys, this is the big picture here. On CBS, the March Madness guys just went through all four regions as well as the first four, which will determine I think what was it the four places in these regions, right? Those are going to happen on the 17th and 18th of this coming week. I didn't close the door well enough, so Oliver's in the room here with me. So Joe, where do you want to start? Because
So I'll start with saying this. I follow I'm an analytics guy.
all
Okay, so
right. Okay.
I like to look at a couple of websites. Okay, to
Okay.
help me as I go through which teams I like to pick and not pick in my brackets. And I don't just like to pick the favorites. I like to pick
Okay.
some
You don't
teams
you
that
don't like to just pick winners.
no. We have a friend that does that. He only picks the high seeds, and you probably know who I'm talking about. One of
Maddie?
my no, one of my former colleagues at the law firm,
Oh,
um, and
I know
only likes to
exactly what you're talking
pick
about.
tees picks the high seeds and then brags to me about how great he picked, and I'm like, you only picked high seeds. Of course, you're going to do a little better than me because I'm trying to pick teams from the low that may make it, right? Because
Right,
every
right.
year, I've done some analysis as I pick make brackets every year, and I found that every year, at least in the Elite Eight with 8 teams left, there's always a team that's higher than 10. There's always, I think,
Okay.
every year, there's always one double-digit seed at least in the Elite Eight. So I try to pick a double-digit seed to make the Elite Eight, and that's obviously not easy to do. But I like to have fun that way, and maybe I hit it big, right, and
Right.
take a
Right.
long
You
shot.
take
But
risks,
I
right?
take
And
risks,
you take
correct.
risks.
Calculated risks. Okay. And that's where they comes into my where I use the analytics. So I go to a website called kenpom.com.
All right. Can you
Okay, there's a
spell that?
little
Can you spell that?
KENPOM. Okay,
Okay.
and it's like a analytics site that looks at the efficiency of each team, and it ranks them, based on how they play against all the competition, and it weights
Exactly. Yeah.
weights and it weights it. So if to all of our listeners out there who or watchers, is that what we say?
Both.
Looking
Both.
for those long shots, go to
Mhm.
kenpom.com or the Bart Torvik site.
Is this true, Joe? The Tabor Tavern says Ken Palm replaced the net, if I remember right. Is that right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a metric to make it into the tournament, maybe they are looking at the Ken Palm, the committee. I'm not exactly sure, but
Okay.
it's what I use as partly as to help me find teams that may be perform outside of their expectations.
Okay.
So that's what I do. And actually, Michelle, if I can say, there's one team that kind of stands out a little bit. They're little team from Nashville, Tennessee, is 12th on the Ken Palm, right?
Okay.
But a fifth seed. So a fifth seed would correlate to about the 20th best team in the nation. But
Okay.
on the Ken Palm, a little team from Vanderbilt, from Nashville, Tennessee, is 12th. So you would think that they're a little bit higher than expectations, right? They should
Yeah.
outperform possibly. Whereas, let's, for example, look at Kansas. Kansas is a 4 seed, but they're number
Okay.
21 in the Ken Palm, right? So
Okay.
right, so these are just things that I think about. Okay, and
Okay.
the highest digit, the double digit seed is 34th, and that would be NC State, and
Okay.
35 is Santa Clara as a 10 seed. So I
Okay.
would look there if you're looking for some
So
teams.
we're making calculated you're taking calculated risks, but also, I mean, the great thing about March Madness, at least in my opinion, is that there's always a Cinderella story, at least one, right? And it's like who are we looking at? Who's the UMBC, if you will, of this 2026 tournament, right? So where do we want to look first? We want to look at the
So let's
first
start
four?
with the East, like they
Okay, let's
started
do
with.
East. Let's do East. Let's
All
look at
right.
the East first. Okay.
All right, we're gonna look at the East. So as we look through the East, right, we have Duke, UConn, Michigan State,
Yeah.
and
That
Kansas
that
as the top
downwards
four
thumb,
seeds.
this downward thumb is for Duke. We know likey Duke
We
for
don't
many
we don't
reasons.
like Duke. How
Everybody hates Duke.
unfortunately though this year, right? Duke is number 1 on the Ken Palm, so they're the best team
Terrible.
in the country.
Doesn't mean
On
I mean, doesn't mean they can't lose. That's a
Doesn't
great thing
mean they
about this.
can't lose, but
Yeah.
they are the best team in the country according to the Ken Palm.
Yeah.
So, um, as I was saying before, one of the high seeds that could be a little vulnerable looks to be Kansas, right?
Okay.
Because their Ken Palm is down around 21, and they're a
What is
4
Is
seed.
Ken Palm kind of like a Moneyball sorta website?
Correct.
And I
Correct.
say Moneyball, if you know Moneyball, like the stats of what happened with baseball and stuff like that. So it's kind of running the numbers of all the teams, all the players, all the wins, losses, right? To kind of give us the best uh possible outcome, right, for each team.
Correct. Correct. Yes. So
Okay.
it's like, yeah, it's like a money ball running the analytics and coming up with which teams will overperform and underperform, right? And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say a lot of times now basketball has been money balled in that you'll see teams, they either dunk the ball or shoot a 3-pointer. If you're
Okay.
doing anything other than that, it's a bad shot. Essentially, right? You should
Okay.
only be shooting layups, dunks, and threes.
Yeah.
If you're shooting anything from outside of that, the long two, that's a bad shot because
Yeah.
it's it has low frequency of going in, and you only get 2 points. So why shoot it, right? You only want to shoot the dunks that get 90% in and you get 2 points, or a 3 where you shoot it 35 to 40%, but you get 3 points rather than 50% for only 2 points. Just
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
So John Winkler one here is saying it's all number related now, right? Which it seems to be. And there's a bunch of like, you know, I don't know. I feel like gambling and betting has kind of ruined everything. But we're looking at it for different reasons. Love of the game. Maybe you got a bracket. Maybe you're playing with your coworkers or whatever else. But for the most part, we just love the game. But I do want to look at this first Duke Siena matchup here.
Go ahead, you talk. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I mean, I personally feel like invested into this matchup because for two reasons. Number one, well, actually, maybe three reasons. Number one, Duke sucks. Everyone hates them. Number two, Stephen Miller went to Duke. So all the reason to not root for Duke. But number three is that Siena's head coach is a young man named Gerry McNamara, who was part of the 2003 national championship team at Syracuse. He is a legend. He is beloved. He is a native of Scranton, Pennsylvania, home of Joe Biden. We love Gerry McNamara. And for that reason, we are rooting for Siena to pull it out over Duke. It's going to be tough, obviously. But just for all the reasons, we're at least I am. I'm going to root for Siena. And Rob Law says he'll be Syracuse's next head coach. Listen, if you don't think I'm in the comments section of every single post about this, rooting for GMAC, that's exactly what I'm up to. The Cuse with Mello in 2003, exactly. These people, I was there. I was at school then. These people are my former classmates. So, Joe, anything else from the East you want to throw in here?
Yeah, I want to throw in one of the longer shots here that I like is South Florida.
Interesting. Okay.
South Florida, they've got a pretty good Ken Palm. I think they're in the American Conference, which is like not that bad. So if we're looking for a double-digit seed, I would go with South Florida. And unfortunately, Duke is the best team in the country, so they're a solid favorite here. And again, high seed that is iffy. Right here is Kansas based on the Ken Palm. So that's my thoughts on this bracket. I haven't really gone through it yet, totally on who I'm going to pick for my brackets on each line. But Duke's going to be tough to beat. Although I do like St. John's as well. I think they're coming on strong. I mean, they've been playing really well. They just won the Big East title. Yep. You can't go against Rick Pitino. I mean,
St. John's. I feel, of course, very nostalgic for the Big East. We were at a St. John's Villanova game just a couple weeks ago, Joe and I, and we were there with our friends. And it's funny because St. John's kicked the crap out of Villanova, but Villanova's in the tournament as well. So, and which we'll get to.
And you'll have to excuse me as I do my Marco Rubio every 3 minutes.
Yeah, but it's okay. That's a milkshake, and we excuse it. Okay, so do you want to move on to the next here?
No, we need to talk about the unis and the mascots real fast.
Can we come to that after?
We're gonna come to that after.
Well, actually, okay. Who do we like here?
You want to go? You want to? Who do I like? Let me go back here. What's my favorite uni from this is the Kansas uniform. It's just a classic blue.
All right. Let me get out of here because the problem is here that I can.
No, you got to switch back and forth. I'm sorry. I'm ruining everything. I'm a bad man. Very, very bad. Very naughty.
Very bad man. No, I like this color. It's a good color. I like
yeah. I mean, it's just a classic, right? You can't. It'll be a theme kind of throughout this, right? That I like the classic. That I like the classic. That I collect the classic uniforms and no, my shoes are not 2 sizes too big. Although it's very easy to get shoes that are 2 sizes too big for me because I'm not a huge human, but but these uniforms are they're just classic. I actually do like the mascot. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Jayhawk there. Although our favorite mascot here is the horned frog. The
Okay.
horned frog in the East region. I mean, look at this. You
Right.
can't
I
you
think
can't beat a horned frog. Look at that.
well, and we looked at the an actual horned frog in real life, which doesn't really I mean, it is a departure from the reality of this animal, this reptile, but I see the
So
resemblance. I see
one of
the
the motifs or themes will be that I like traditional uniforms and untraditional mascots.
Okay. All right. That
All right.
works.
So this is
That
who
works.
wants to just see a wildcat? Everyone's the wildcats. No, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
or
Come
like
on.
the bulldogs or yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's just like
Yeah, it's
ridiculous. But the
yeah.
horned frogs, now that's a cool mascot.
Yeah. All right. I feel you. I feel you. So,
Okay.
okay,
All right. Next region.
next region. Let me just take out
All right.
horned frogs here. Let me take out horned frog so I can make room for the others. Okay, where are we going next? Want to go to the
Let
west?
me see. Where are we going next? We're going to I'll tell you. Hold on. Let's go to the the West with Arizona.
All right. Arizona. Okay. And they're up with number 1 seed Arizona against LIU. It's kind
That's
of
local. LIU,
local.
local
That's
Brooklyn,
local.
right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
The LIU Sharks.
Mhm.
Arizona, great coach Tommy Lloyd came from Gonzaga,
Mm.
and they've done really really well in the regular season. A lot recent years, but just haven't broken through in the tournament yet. So I kind of like. I kind of like Arizona and their coach. I do want them to do well, and I always root for Gonzaga. What the small engine that could up there in Spokane, Washington. So big fan of Mark Few and what he's done up there and keeping that program going for a long time. Really really tough to do. At a small school in Spokane, Washington, and yet here they are every year. It's always
Mhm.
Gonzaga, always, always, always,
Yeah, they're
always,
always around, always.
right?
John Winkler 1 is asking, is this Lieutenant Colonel's Urso's brother? That is correct. Yes. Yes, they are the brother and sister duo from the Urso crew. Rob Law saying Rod Strickland is LIU's coach, one of my favorite players growing up.
Former
Um,
Nick, right?
I think so. I don't know.
That's
That
a
sounds right.
that's a former Nick.
People got some beef with High Point here. What's going on with that? Timothy Parrish says, I dislike High Point because it was too long to get in due to lousy security police operation. That's funny. McCaber Tavern, High Point, the best South team money can buy. Frowny face. I don't know what that means. Is there beef there that I should know about? Do you know anything about High Point, Joe?
I don't know what why people are down on the High Point. I don't know. Maybe it's a low point for them, but
Yeah. Ooh,
I'm
badumching.
not I'm not I'm not exactly sure what the hate is there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
I'm
High
the Winthrop
seeds.
fan, and their president's a billionaire. I see. Okay. High Point is in the Epstein files.
Oh no.
Wait, for real, BJG? Are you just being funny, or is that real? Tell me, like, let me know in the chat. Also, Timothy Parrish saying it's also very expensive to go to HB High Point, so I don't get why they like it. It's an unattractive campus, in my opinion. All right, that's fair. That's a fair criticism.
So let's just
Okay, BJG was
quickly
just joking. No,
on
not
what
real.
I thought the high seeds, the Arizona, Arkansas, Purdue, and Gonzaga, they all seem to be relatively where they should be based on the Ken Palm. So it's hard to pick something from there. But I'll just go with my watch here would be Purdue.
Mhm.
Just because Purdue won the Big Ten tournament here, and they've had a little bit of trouble in other years, right? They were the second 1 seed to fall before, and I think they climbed up the ladder to the 2 seed based on how they just did in the last week at the Big Ten tournament versus what they did over the course of the season. So that would be my one look there, and maybe Arkansas is the same way. They may have climbed up based on 1 week of play rather than the whole body of work. But John Coach Cal at Arkansas. I mean, I do want to say about Arkansas and Coach Cal, man, Kentucky must be kicking themselves. I mean, they threw out a coach that won a heck of a lot of games, and now he goes somewhere else, and now that team's better than Kentucky.
Well,
So,
that
you know what? I
happens.
don't like when universities and schools and teams they kick out successful coaches because it's not easy to coach them up. And
Right.
Coach
It takes
Cal,
time and trust, right?
yeah, there's a lot of these teams think they're better than what they are. You know what I mean? And it's just someone's successful, but they don't win the tournament every year, and it's a little bit too high of expectations. So I'm
Yeah.
happy for Coach Cal.
All right.
Um,
Just really quick, Joe, I just want
yeah.
to interrupt. BJG said no, not real. I guess he was joking about the Epstein file thing with High Point. So just so we get that on the record that was a joke. We did not know because I listen. It could be. Who knows these days? Literally, it seems like everyone's in the Epstein files. But anyways, moving on. Joe, what else?
Yeah, on the high seeds here that are to watch out for. So the 512 is, High Point. Just to go back to our High Point, the 512 is always something to look out for. Although High Point is the lowest Ken Palm 12 seed, so that's not where I would look, considering they're the lowest. But again, as I said earlier, the highest double-digit seed is NC State. They're 34th on the Ken Palm, which would equate to 34 divided by 4 is like 8.5, right?
Okay.
So, but they're an 11 seed. So there you go, right there. That's where I would look. While Texas is also 37. So both of them, whoever comes out of that first 4 game, you never know. So, and we should note, remember, we just heard it the other day. Queens, it's the first time they're ever eligible. And look at that. They're in the tournament.
Oh, that's impressive. Yeah.
I think they just moved up from a lower division or something like that. So,
Hmm.
good for them. All right. Let's go. Let's do the mascots for this. And
Okay.
the mascots. Purdue, the
Okay.
Boilermakers. I mean, come on, that's pretty cool. I think his
That
name is like Joe Boyle or something like that.
Can we
Boiler
talk
Joe.
about that? Can we talk about that, like, thing on his head? Like, it looks like a Halloween mask that you buy at the drugstore. Like, you know
Those
what
are
I'm
the
saying?
hard hats. They're the
Okay.
hard hats because the Boilermakers are like, it's because they get their hands dirty and build locomotives and stuff like that. That's where it
Okay.
came from. So it's like a pretty cool mascot.
All right.
You know,
Where is Purdue, Joe? Tell us where Purdue is.
Indiana.
Indiana.
West
Indiana.
Lafayette.
Okay. All right.
And this is a boring unis. I said Arkansas here just because, again, it's a classic red and white, classic
Is this
look. Very
Razorback?
classy. There's not a lot of going on it. It's just right there.
Is it
Yes.
Razorback, Joe?
Yes, this is the Razorbacks, yeah. So I'm it would be the Arkansas Razorbacks would be
I don't even know how that happened, but
yeah, the Arkansas Razorbacks uniform with the white, the crisp white unis and red. It's really classy look. And so that's the one right now.
all
Again,
right.
it fits in my theme. Funky mascots, classic uniforms. All right.
All right. I got to load a bunch of this stuff back in because you know what happened was I went to move something and I used 2 fingers on the trackpad and it just made the whole page go away. So I lost a bunch of stuff here. So tell me where we're going next, Joe.
Where are we going next? We're going to the Midwest.
Midwest. Here we go.
The number 1 seed, Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan. Oh boy. Here's the thing. If you guys, Joe's going to put on his other hat now. The thing about Michigan people who went to Michigan, University of Michigan, public school, great school in the great state of Michigan. Everybody, I think when they show up on day 1, they teach you the fight song at Michigan. And if you are within the vicinity of one of these human beings for the rest of your life, you will learn this song
Dun, 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 dun,
Eh,
dun, 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 dun,
ridiculous.
dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
no,
dun,
Joe's a UM
dun, dun,
fan.
dun,
Well, no,
dun.
he's an
I
alum.
went to Michigan.
Yeah, he went to University of Michigan Law School. So, and here's Sterling. He wants to join in on the fun. All right, so Joe, tell us. I mean,
No, I went to
UMBC.
Michigan, and hail to the victors, right?
Yeah, hail
Um,
to the victors.
victors,
Flying
valiant, hail to
free.
the conquering
Do
heroes,
I know
hail.
Syracuse fight song? I do not. I do not.
Go blue. Michelle hates when we see Michigan person in the city wearing the hat because I say go blue and they say go blue back, and I tell Michelle we everywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
we everywhere, and I
yeah.
think that comes from famous alum Desmond Howard. I think he was telling a story on TV how he was in like Moscow and he saw somebody in a Michigan hat and they
Oh,
were
that's
like and
crazy.
they said something to Desmond and he turns and he goes, "Man, we everywhere."
Yeah.
We everywhere. So yeah, Michigan been one of the best teams in the country all year
Mhm.
long. I mean, 31-3, just lost here in the finals of the Big Ten finals to Purdue. But new coach Dusty May. I think it's like his second or third season. So really, really great job. And yeah, the Michigan team. We'll see if this is the year. This is the year for Michigan. Have one of the best players in the country. Could be one of the top draft picks on the team as well. So rooting for Michigan to go almost all the way. Um, who else do we like in this region? Okay, so let's take a look again at the Ken Palm. Michigan is right up there, number 3. What do we got here? Iowa State, Virginia, and Alabama, right? Iowa State is up there.
Okay.
Virginia is number 3, and Virginia is at number 13. Alabama's at
Virginia is
18.
Virginia University of Virginia?
University of Virginia.
University of VA. Okay.
UVA, yeah. So Alabama has one of the best offenses in the country. So their coach is Nate Oates, and he's an analytics fiend. He coaches his guys to um, only shoot threes and dunks and to let the opponent shoot long twos. That's like their founding principle, and he's gone there and done a fantastic job over the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, Alabama was not a great program, and then he got there and he turned that team around. So really kudos to him. And again, as I said before, Kentucky, a 7 seed. How funny is that? They fire Coach Cal. He goes to Arkansas. He wins the SEC tournament, and look at Kentucky down at a 7
Mm,
seed. I mean,
mm,
you can't,
yeah.
sometimes you think you're better than what you are, right? And Big Blue Nation thinks that
Mhm.
you know, that it's their divine right to be a number 1 seed, and it's disgusting as a Vanderbilt fan. So
Alex has a question here. A question is, how good is the Big Ten this year? Who has the best conference? Probably SEC overall, then the ACC. What do you think, Joe?
I mean, the SEC last year was really good. I think the SEC is probably a little bit down from what it was last year, while the Big Ten probably had a little bit better year with better teams at the top. Michigan, Illinois, Michigan State, and Purdue, all 1, 2, or 3 seeds. While I think the SEC has Florida as a 1 seed, but then the rest of their teams are 4 and lower. So I would say the Big Ten this year might have been a little bit, higher rated.
Okay.
One of the
And
long shots here in this region, I think Hofstra is as a 13 seed
hmm,
is the highest 13 seed in the Ken Palm.
okay.
So if you're looking for a 13 seed, Hofstra is where I would turn. Yes, they're all the way down at 87 in the Ken Palm, so pretty low. But all of the other 13 seeds are much lower than that. And actually, Hofstra is ahead of some of the 11 and 12 seeds. So in the Ken Palm. So that's where I would look if you're looking for a long shot. Hofstra might be one of those squats.
Okay. Just really quick, not in
Yeah.
my name. UVA, isn't that Tara's home school? Still go Iowa. So go Iowa. UVA. Tara actually teaches there. Tara Setmeyer, who's my former colleague at Seneca Project and forever friend. And yeah, she teaches at UVA, but she did go to GW for her undergrad. So not her alma mater, but the place where she informs all of the young minds of America at this great school. So Joe,
Let's get to the unis and the mascots here. So what
okay.
did I say?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. Akron, the Zips.
The
The
zip,
Zips.
the
The
zips.
Akron Zips. So I think we read that this is one of the few female mascots, and it's a kangaroo. That's pretty cool. Look at that. I mean, that's a
That's
cool
pretty cool.
mascot. And
I
I think
wouldn't have
it's
known.
called the Zips. We thought because of Akron's closeness to the rubber industry and zipper making. So that's
Hmm,
why they're the Zips.
things we're
And look
learning.
at that kangaroo. That's pretty cool. So
Very
I
cute.
don't like I don't like mascots what they do now and they make mean faces. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
like
know.
these
Why
ones
can't
like
they
with the
be sweet
smile.
faces?
Hmm?
This is why I love my Otto, who's got the
Yeah,
sweet
right.
face. How
Who
could you
needs a
be?
mascot like looking
No, I
mean?
don't
I
need it
mean, they're like
mean.
they did with the Miami Dolphins. They changed the Dolphins mascot. It used to be like a cool looking dolphin, and now it's
Yeah,
like some mean dolphin. And it's like, no, you
yeah,
don't need that. Just have a
yeah.
nice looking dolphin. Why not?
A happy
So,
mess.
so there's the mascot we like, the Zips. That's pretty cool. I like the
Okay.
kangaroo. I think that's pretty cool, and it's one of the first only female mascots. And then a classy uniform are the Virginia Cavaliers. I mean,
Okay.
look at that look. It's just a clean, classy
Yeah.
look.
You know what? It's timeless, right?
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
following a trend. Like somebody could have worn that 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it would look good then and it looks good now. You know what I
Yep.
mean? As I
Yep.
said to you before we came on, look good, play good. Okay.
Play well would be the proper
But you
English.
got to use
But
the same word, good and good. You know what I mean? Look good, play good. Okay.
uh
My mother's not around to correct me. She likes to correct me.
John Winkler says Michigan best uni. I would agree. I love the Michigan colors. I think that the blue and maize is really cool. I
The
think
maize and
those look,
blue.
yeah, I think they look really, really nice.
I mean, who doesn't like the? I figured people had enough of me talking about Michigan. So I tried to change it up. We try to give a love to a lot of different teams around here. We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Zips.
Yeah.
We got to talk about everyone. All right, we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about the
Yep.
last one.
Yep.
I'm
Looking at
keeping
the
us.
south.
We're keeping on track here. You know what I mean? This is
Yep.
pretty good.
Okay. Looking at the south, Joe.
And the last one, the South.
Okay.
Wow. Oh my God. Who's that at number 5? Who's that?
Oh,
Oh my God.
Vanderbilt.
It's the
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's Commodores. Okay, and that's my real alma mater. Michigan, I went
Mhm.
to law school, but Vanderbilt, I went to undergrad. And if they ever played each other,
Yeah.
my allegiance is right here.
When Joe was in undergrad there, he won an award. It was like a most spirited award, right? For like being a person who goes to all the games and all the things.
I won the Rob Roy Purdy Award.
Okay, right, right. And there was at one point Vanderbilt won some big basketball game, right? And you rushed,
We went to the tournament. So when
right?
I was there, we were a 6 seed or something. Yeah, we were a 6 seed and we played in Orlando and me and a bunch of my friends got into the back of I know what you're talking about and no that's not me. I can't whistle like that, but
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, which is like really that's obscure. That you know
Yeah.
your Vanderbilt baseball, and we got a great baseball team, Coach Tim
For
Corrigan.
anybody listening and not watching, McCabe Tavern asked, "Wait, Joe, are you the Vandy Whistler?" Which I guess is like an
That's
insidey thing
it's
with
very
Vandy
insider.
sports.
That's like super insider. I'm like pretty impressed on that one. That's really talking about our baseball team, which is one of the best in the country. Let me just say,
Yeah.
Candace Story Lee. Oh, geez, our athletic director, Candace. What a job she's done. I
Mhm.
mean, she's locked up the baseball coach. She made great hire with football, Clark Lee and his team. What an amazing job we did in football this year. Women's basketball, what a hire, and Shay Ralph. We'll talk about that at 9:30. What a fantastic hire. Plucked her from UConn as an assistant coach. What a great job. And also hiring Mark Byington to coach the men's basketball team. What a phenomenal job. Our Olympic sports are doing great. Women's soccer was just one of the top teams in the country,
Mm.
got robbed right before the Final Four in college soccer. We've got a great, I think, tennis program, golf program. We've got, and we just started a women's volleyball program. Really proud of all the sports at Vanderbilt. Candace Story Lee, phenomenal job, phenomenal job. All right, so about this bracket, okay, and we're upgrading the football stadium. That is correct. Dudley Field, yes. What a fortress. Okay, about this bracket.
Mhm.
Florida returning champion Kelvin Sampson down with Houston. Always root for Kelvin Stamps. Always root for Kelvin Sampson. He's been a tremendous coach, taking a lot of teams to the Final Four. This is kind of a younger squad for Kelvin. Illinois, also a really high tempo team. Love them. In Nebraska, Fred Hoiberg, the mayor. That's the coach, Fred Hoiberg. His nickname was the mayor. Taking Nebraska. They've never won an NCAA tournament game.
Mm.
Never.
Wow.
University of Nebraska. So that's quite the thing. If we're looking at the Ken Palm here, again, as I said before, Vanderbilt, a 5th seed, but 12th in the Ken Palm. 12th. We're really good. So I won't begrudge you for picking Vanderbilt to win this whole thing. We're a really good team. 12th in the country in the Ken Palm. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Higher than Nebraska, I might add. Okay, wink, wink for your picks there. Okay, we're higher than Nebraska on the Ken Palm. So let's look at some of the lower seeds in this region. I'm just going through the Ken Palm now. Idaho, Penn, Troy. Okay, let's look at Idaho, Penn, and Troy. Idaho, where's Idaho? I'm trying to do a control F.
I don't know.
Idaho down 145. Where's Troy? So McNeese. Troy is down there right next to Idaho. So Idaho is the highest of the 15 seeds. So if you're looking for something, they're the highest 15 seed, right? So, and that's
Okay.
where I like to look at these long shots. Okay, they're the
Okay.
highest 15
They
seed
have the best chance at a little Cinderella story here.
of the 15 seeds. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, let's take a look now at the uniforms and the mascots. So what do
Okay.
we say here? Oh, the Vandals. Let's go back to Idaho.
Okay.
The Vandals. That's what they're called, the Vandals. And I looked this up right before I came on. They're called the Vandals because back 100 years ago, they beat another team, and someone said they vandalized the other team, and then they were known as the Vandals. Yeah. Their mascot's Joe Vandal. So anything with Joe in it's probably a good mascot. Okay. So they're just called the Vandals because they vandalized another team. I mean, that's pretty cool. Look at them. It's just a bunch of vandals.
Yeah. And his
I mean,
face is kind of like semi-angry, but not all the way angry. So like we'll let it.
He look, you know what? Any old school wrestling fans out there, he looks like the Bushwhackers, you know? Okay. So yeah, that and then of course, if there's any guesses as what to we think are the best uniforms in this region, just take one look. Obviously, moving it, we're going to take aside Vanderbilt. Okay, I didn't choose Vanderbilt. Okay, for
I
the
don't
best
love your
unis.
colors at Vanderbilt.
I didn't choose Vanderbilt, but just look at the bracket, Michelle, and look at the teams and tell me which one you think is the most classic looking uniform here.
Well, I mean, I know what
Florida, Lehigh, Clemson, Iowa, Vanderbilt, McNeese, Nebraska, Troy, North Carolina, VCU, Illinois, Penn, St. Mary's, Texas A&M, Houston, and Idaho. You know which one's the most classy. It's North Carolina. They're the classiest of the classy. There it is. With the Argyle on the side. You can't, I mean, North Carolina, they've got one of the best uniforms.
Yeah. It's not my favorite shade of blue, honestly, because I like those like really vibrant, saturated blues. So it's a little like On a court, I'm
The
always just like,
powder blue.
I can't see them. You know
You
what I
don't like
mean?
the powder blue?
Mm,
Not a huge fan. Well,
aesthetically,
it's a classic uniform. You can't go wrong as long as they don't mess it up. Right? It's
yeah.
pretty good.
Well,
So
listen, and if you're gonna pick a team from North Carolina,
yeah,
you're gonna pick
we're not
them, and
picking.
you're not over Duke any day of the week, right?
So so we've just run through each of the regions. There you go.
Yep. And
So
let's take a look though at the first four in
yeah.
Dayton, which are the 17th and 18th next week. Our matchups are UMBC against Howard. We got Texas versus NC State, Prairie View A&M versus Lehigh, and then Miami, Ohio. Really? And SMU. So,
So
what are your predictions
I
here?
have something to say about this too.
What?
I'm really glad that Miami, Ohio made the tournament, okay? They're
Okay.
31-1 and they lost in their conference tournament. So they didn't get an automatic bid and a lot of people were like, "Well, they didn't beat anyone all year." They were 31-0,
Mm.
okay? And then they lost one game at the end. They deserve the right to be in the tournament, not some team from a large conference that went 17-15. Who gives a about that? I mean, this
Who
team
gives a
31-1,
rat's
31-1, they deserve a chance to be in the tournament and make some hay. So I'm really glad that they're there. I wish they weren't in the um in the first four. I wish they made right into the main event, but the first four has become something in team, so it's not like terrible. And one of the first times the first four ran, VCU, I think, went from first four all the way to the final four. So and that was what Shaka Smart and the guys. So great for them, and I'm really happy for Miami, Ohio. Really, really happy for them. So
Okay.
that's my thought on the first four.
All right. And not in my name, regular to Mayday Network asks to be clear, who is Joe saying will take it all? Who
Oh,
is Michelle saying will take it all? Like, because obviously this just happened, so you haven't filled out your bracket yet.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean this is Vanderbilt all the way. I mean we've got a great team, and this is not. Look, when Vanderbilt is a 10 seed, 8 seed, I'm not over my skis and going, oh Vanderbilt. I'm just hoping Vanderbilt makes the Sweet 16 and we'll be happy.
yeah,
This team can honestly win the whole tournament. We were up to at one point 10th in the nation. We're sitting at 12th in the Ken Palm. We can win it all. We had 1 month this year where one of our probably our second best player was out because of a knee injury for a month, and we had a little bit of a rut, and that brought us back down. But at one point, I think we were fourth in the Ken Palm. We can win it all. I'm super excited about this Vanderbilt team. Michigan obviously could make it all the way too. It could be a Vandy Michigan final, and Michelle's head would probably explode. Okay,
you
so
remember Joe the first year that we were dating, which was in 2013, that Michigan and Syracuse were both in the Final Four, and we went to Atlantic City for the weekend and the
yes,
game, and it was awful. We lost. Now
I
with
do
poker
remember.
face. I do,
I do
yeah,
remember.
yeah. We were with, our friends that
Yeah.
always one of which always picks the winner.
Oh yeah. How annoying is that? Oh my god. He's so annoying. He's
He's the
so
best.
annoying. Oh, I pick. Here's my bracket. It's every 1 and 2 seed. I'm like, you're such a loser. You're such a loser. But I love him. But he's a loser.
He's the best.
He probably, if he was on here right now, he'd be like, Joe, shut up. You're mean. You're a loser. I know what I'm doing. Seriously, he picks all the winners. Picks all the high seeds. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Shell
That
Anna 21 asks, Michelle, where did you go? I don't know if you're just behind in the feed and you're asking when I accidentally jumped out of the
she went to a school that's not playing this year.
but if you're asking where I went to school, I went to a school that's not playing and hasn't played in quite some time.
Are you going to root for Vanderbilt with me?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Michelle will tell you how into the game I get. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like I'll root as much as I can without faking it. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm watching the TV pretty intently.
yeah.
Last year, I actually traveled. I was actually in Cleveland playing
Oh, right.
backgammon at the same time that Vanderbilt played a game in the tournament there. So I left the tournament, went to the game, and then came back to the tournament, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was able to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to what is it?
Yeah, where are they playing?
Oklahoma City this year, although
Yeah,
that would
no,
be
I don't
pretty
think
cool.
so. I like to see the Buffaloes got part of the tournament though.
And
That's
then
pretty cool.
where's the South region this year?
I don't
Tampa?
know.
I think it
I
might
don't
be
know.
Tampa.
That I don't know.
No, maybe it's not Tampa. Where is the South region this year?
I
Why
don't
doesn't
know.
it just say
Final Four is in Indianapolis.
South region 2026? Houston. Houston. You know what? I have a friend in Houston, my buddy Carl. Maybe I can go to Houston for the weekend.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
So, oh well, no, it's next. It's the weekend of the other thing we're going to.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's the bracket. That's my pick. Vanderbilt, obviously. Who do you got in the finals, Michelle?
I don't know.
Duke.
Stop. I mean, here's the thing. Like maybe realistically that could happen, in which case, won't be watching. But I always like to root for the Big East teams.
St. John's. Go
I'm
for
gonna be
St.
rooting for
John's.
St. John's. I'm gonna be
Go
rooting
for
for
the
St. John's.
Johnnies. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
For the hometown team, I respect that.
Exactly. There was a time, if anybody lives in the New York City area, that Syracuse was tried this whole marketing thing saying that we're New York's college team. And St. John's was so pissed off about it. They're like, "Are you serious? We're right here." And as much as I enjoyed it, it was kind of like I could see why they were pissed off about that. So yeah. Hold on. We got Lee Rogers here. I'm jumping ahead, but knowing the Mayday Network covers sports, I will be trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. It's at Shinnecock in Southampton. We'll be there. We're going to the U.S. Open this year in Shinnecock. If I make it, I'll wear your merch. Well,
Fantastic.
we're going to be selling some. We're going to be selling some merch. But Joe and I we got tickets. We're going to Shinnecock this year, so it'll be fun.
We're going to the U.S. Open tennis and golf.
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, are we good?
We are good.
You got to go do your thing, and I'm going to study up on the women's tournament here.
Yeah,
right?
got it here late. Thought Joe must be Jacqueline's husband, and Michelle had dated her brother-in-law. Until he said backgammon. No, this guy is my husband, whose sister is Jacqueline. So hopefully that clears everything up. Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here for a little breakdown of the men's NCAA basketball March Madness. Today's Selection Sunday. I'm going to go record an episode of The Illegals, the Americans Rewatch podcast with the gang. But we will be back here at 9:30 p.m.
I'm going to do some research on the women right now.
Do
do the same thing? Send you some photos of the mascots and the whole thing. We'll do it the same way.
Yep. And we'll be back here. Right.
Thanks a lot, Michelle.
I'm going to put you to work.
Thanks a lot, Michelle.
I'm just here to help. So we're back here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, right here at the Mayday Network. So if you can
21:30 for those on military time.
Okay, let's take it easy. Just if you can, please just hit the like button down below. If you're watching us here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You'll be the first to know when we do little things like this. Obviously, this is a departure from our usual programming, but we're hoping to bring you more things in the sports arena, pun intended. And
shout out to Harlem Shake.
Shout out to Harlem Shake, who provided us dinner this evening. Not really. We purchased it. They did not provide it.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll be back here in just a little bit, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.